killer lane for Enigma.SEA.
Yeah, I have to agree. Honestly, it looks like pretty slow paced from the side of EHOME, and when I see Enigma.SEA, it's like they have some things that are a little bit slower with like the Doom and with like their DK form that can be a bit slower, but it's a fast paced draft. And then if you're fighting every time like meta's up and you have Doom, you know, you're looking pretty good. So I really like this Doom last pick. You know, I didn't really see the Omni what it was for. I guess like they really like the stopping of the chain stuns and stuff over in these regions, but yeah, I think the Doom pick just one-ups it, right? It's like, okay, he gets Heavenly Grace, now he's just doomed, it gets dispelled. Same thing for the GA, because you know, the Guardian Angel is something else I was looking at versus Drow Ranger, where perhaps in fights it could be strong, but you know, the Doom dispel, it could just break a lot of those fights.
One thing I really like is this Drow Ranger pick. Playing into Terrorblade that goes through his base armor. Just the silence in general is something that these heroes don't like to play early on. There isn't any kind of save for Drow Ranger, so that's a bit of a downside for it. I would love to see anything, but because they do have like Sanking plus Ember Spirit that can get on top of the Drow Ranger. Later on, if we're talking about the super late game, Terrorblade will pick up a Blink Dagger in this matchup, I believe, because he's gonna need to be able to also close the gap, and because Drow Ranger just outranges him, and it's gonna be very difficult. But in these mid fights, I'm very big fan of Drow Ranger because she can dish out some serious amount of damage. She does have like 2 frontliners, Dragon Knight and Doom, and also some extra minus armor coming up from Weaver.
Yeah, and I guess in, like you're saying, you know, the potential save also is like eventually the Weaver could get an Aghanims, I guess, in a way, right? Like, it's not fantastic in this type of game because like if they're on top of Drow and you're just like standing holding your ground, the time lapse is going to put you in the same place, but it could be an option, maybe of something like save. Probably just Force Staffs and stuff is more along the lines, but we'll see what they actually end up going for.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Force Staffs for this game. Every single time I see Aghanim Scepter on Weaver, whether that's position 4 or 5, it just feels underwhelming. This item got nerfed like 3 or 4 patches in a row, which is kind of a bummer. But yeah, bottom lane, Terrorblade 5 CS, Sanking 4 CS. We did have a patch, so that means that, you know, some of these heroes did get nerfed, especially Sanking, a lot of small changes, but the hero is still strong.
Yeah, his damage, like when you look at all of it adding up, it did get chunked pretty hard, right? Because with the shard, you lose damage on your epicenter pulses, you lost some sandstorm damage. So I think in like the mid game, him going for solo kills, I think is going to be a little bit less frequent, but in the mid team fights, I think it's still going to be overall same. So that's one that I'm looking at. Other thing to touch on too is like, I saw DK and they picked Terrorblade into DK. I actually really like the DK into TB because of the Breathe Fire damage reduction versus meta. So that's another thing in mid fights where I feel like it could be really tough for the TB to actually.
Yeah, because it removes green damage, right?
Yeah, it removes like all your base damage, and you get a 30% increase at level 10 as well if he wants to go for that talent. So it's like a 55% damage reduction versus a pure, well, no, all base damage hero. So you can reduce half of that damage from the meta TB.
Looking at the top lane, Drow Ranger doing good, a bit low in the region here. They need to pop a healing salve. Like Weaver as a position 5, not the strongest support, doesn't really provide you with much. Like ideally, you would want to trade a kill in this lane. Trade Weaver for any of these 2 heroes. Drow Ranger gets possibly like solo XP. This is something that you want to do. A lot of these heroes that we see in the game right now did get nerfed in the last couple of patches, especially Weaver. Like level 1 Shikuchi, 15 seconds. Gotta be extremely careful how you approach.
Anytime though where you're like, you know, Drow is farming in the lane, I think you're pretty happy. It's like maybe you want this kill, but 18-6 on a Drow, I mean, that's always feeling good. Usually I feel like when the Drows struggle, you know, the Drows in the tough lane, it's like 3 deaths, 5 minutes.
Yeah. Look at this gigantic wave bottom. It's a triple wave for Dragon Knight, who's gonna farm it underneath the tower. Double Bracer, 2 points in the Dragon Blood. You just don't die on this hero, especially because the enemy support is Omni Knight, so they can't lock you down. He needs to use a stun just to get a CS here. It's worth it.
He's getting the majority. Yeah, that's pretty huge. Just able to power deny. I love this, like the DK off lanes versus most of these cores. As Echo will get brought down Alacrity plus Jokem. A lot of these 4-minute rotations I've seen in this tournament now, rather than going for like the 5-minute catapult move, they're actually sitting on these water runes more than ever.
Yeah, so Doom gets the first blood. I like his item build. That's one of the reasons why he did manage to get it. going for double bracer and a casual chainmail, because he knows Ember Spirit will use the slide. Ember's damn, like, if we talk about how certain things did get nerfed, like his Sleight of Fist damage early on did get nerfed on the first 3 levels. Level 4 is still the same. Sanking dropping extremely low. 40 HP on him. Do we have a healing salve? Yes, we do.
Good boy. Good job, Planet.
And look at him.
Yeah, no.
Nah, I like this. Just getting some extra regeneration from that tier 2 tower. He went in vicinity of it just to get it. This is something I really like to do. And
yeah, we're big culprits of that, I think.
Yeah. Stand underneath the tower. If there's nothing you can do, just get that extra regen. So draw ranger top.
I think we have like even lanes across the board, right? Like Sanking 19-3, DK 20 and 6. Mid lane, I guess, is that disparity. But yeah, even seeing the carries 27-8, 28-13. Pretty similar stuff going on.
Once Sanking gets level 6, like Draw Ranger is going to be in trouble. They don't have like any stuns. I think Draw Ranger does have a point in Gus, so she could potentially push him away. Oh, this is a big kill.
Are they going to get him? Ooh.
They need one extra hit. Do they have any extra regen left? They do. One healing salve used by Boombui on In Your Dream. So he's gonna go back to almost full HP. And Zeal.
Oh,
this is something we don't see. Tranquil boots.
Yeah, I saw it too right away.
It's I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't think it's good. Like, look what he's doing right now. Maybe a second bracer and an extra set of tangos would make the difference. But yeah, this is gonna bring him to like full HP. But he's out of the fight, out of everything for a really long time. He's trying to.
They might get Boombui though.
Yeah, that's a kill.
Yep.
They didn't even need anything. Maybe they're thinking, you know, we have Keeper of the Light Chakra magic to sustain mana, and with Tranquil Boots, I don't ever need to go heal. I wouldn't mind seeing something like casual Ring of Hell that can be put into, let's say, like either a Linkins or / Lotus Orb later on, because they're definitely gonna need it against Doom and Dragon Knight. And just have that.
Just like in this game, like usually it's like these blink into bots. Even for the offlaners, I've still seen them go for bots a lot of times. I guess this one maybe he's thinking he just. I'm trying to justify. I don't know. I don't like the Tranquils by any means, but like maybe he's just feeling he has to do like. He has to just be super active. Like, he's just going to get blink. He's never going to go for bots. He's just going to be always making moves rather than farming. Not sure.
I was a big hater of bots for a long time. I just didn't feel like this item was good, especially in a game when you're losing and you spend 2,000 gold on an item. But in this current meta, this item is so good. It's just like saving gold as well. We see the first rotation from Ember Spirit. Echo going in. Does have 2 points in the chains, but nice arrow there from Mirana, stopping any kind of movement. And yeah, this benefits Doom quite a lot. He's on top of CS, probably on top of net worth as well, considering that he has extra Devour gold. 2k gold lead for NGX.SEA already.
And they're like taking the preemptive steps too. If you looked at the Ancients, they've been constantly keeping tabs of the Radiant Ancients on EHOME. So they're making sure they can like watch or block and just mess with the Sanking's farm or the TB's farm, because they know in some point soon, both of those heroes actually want to occupy this area early on. So that's the other thing too, is I guess something we don't really touch on too much. It used to be talked about a lot more, is when your offlaner and your safe laner want to share the farm of a certain region, which I think this could happen in this game. Sanking and TB want to hit Ancients. So this could hurt, because I think that NGX.SEA is going to be able to apply pressure really early on, and I don't know how EHOME's going to react.
Exactly, because NGX.SEA, they can play Dota with other 4 heroes while Draw Rangers in a triangle and just getting the farm. They need to invest heavily to get a kill on both Doom and Dragon Knight. These 2 heroes are extremely tanky, and look at the damage output. Like, your Omni Knight doesn't provide you with much damage. Sanking dropping relatively low. He actually manages to TP out. He understands that there is no stuns whatsoever, so he gets out of the trouble. Finds the Fairy Trinket for himself. This is big. I mean, Draw Ranger is getting a ton of farm, and look at Doom. This is what I expected this to happen. Like, Doom.
It's double. Yeah. Double the net worth of the Ember, and he's got his Midas done like that. That's insane to me. Like, double the net worth. What?
I don't. Is it supposed to work that way? I would say, if someone asked me, I would say no.
And he has
the triple bounty and some stacks.
I mean, he did get the one of these creeps that is super powerful, especially if you are able to have like mana for it. He's got the lightning creep, which is one of the stronger like nukes early on. but still, like, this
4K
is
gold
how farmed
lead,
he is.
9 minutes in, and yeah, as Panel was talking about, like this is being played on Wadong server. So NGX.SEA, they're playing with a little bit of a ping disadvantage, and they're stomping this game. I mean, not in terms of kills, but the way they're playing it, like everything else is like. Think about the Doom once he gets to his like key items. You want to have that Blink Refresher, BKB, possibly Shiva's Guard in that as well. Like I don't know how they deal with that. Like I don't know how they deal with BKBs unless they get a really good initiation from a Sanking, but that's their only stun. So I don't think they can actually burst people even after they get the initiation and someone has a BKB. So I'm a little bit worried for EHOME. Zeal is. Yeah.
Super worried for them, I gotta be honest. Like, Zeal, he's getting this farm, he's gonna have his blink, but like, dude, when you lose this lane this bad, your Ember Spirit and your Sanking are your majority of damage, and the ones who actually set up fights, because you have Omni as Coddle and Coddle as your two supports. So now you're fully relying on these two cores doing everything. So they'll find in your dream a pretty great grab. He's got the pig pole. He's zooming.
Well, not anymore. Let's see, another chains. Yeah, that's gonna be the combo. That's gonna be the death. Was expecting some kind of rotation. Alacrity will pop the Doom and Omni just to be able to run him down, but the heals from Keeper of the Light keeping him alive. Arrow misses barely. EHOME is still gonna go in and try to finish him off with the Star Storm. Deny. Oh no, he needed to hit it, and yeah, Echo will get another one. So good rotation so far from EHOME. Like they got 2 big kills out of it, just trading position 5. So I don't mind seeing that. This is exactly the type of gank that they needed, and they got the best possible kill from it.
Yeah, it's a much needed kill, but at the same time too, like, it's exactly what they need to do. But at the same time, you see Enigma Galaxy, see they're not overreacting or anything. Look at Mizu, right? Like Miracle's just like, okay,
just
well,
chilling.
I'm just staying bottom. He had TP available, didn't care. Poked the bottom tower, forced some reactions. You know, they reacted with the Doom and with the Mirana, but not everybody did move. So I think it was just a good reaction from NGX.SEA not to feel
move.
anything from it.
Mizu pulling the small camp. To tank for him, yeah, because he's not tanky enough with the...
Are they gonna get him again? Look at this smoke right now from EHOME. They're gonna find him.
Oh, the blast actually saves him. Oof, that's a yikes.
Whoops.
That's when you say sorry and pretend it didn't happen. Also, I think Drow Ranger could be in a triangle instead of farming this area, because this area is much easier to invade, and they can protect the triangle. They don't have any sentries. They only have 1 observer cutting things out, but yeah, I think they need to prepare it for Drow Ranger.
Yeah, I agree. I actually was wondering why I wasn't over there even before that, so. Mid, do they have the damage? Big blast, chains connect. Can't quite commit onto Alacrity though. He'll be able to run away.
Also, the damage output from Echo. Sure, they do have Keeper of the Light plus Ember, so most of the damage is gonna come from like double chains and double slights. But still, like you don't have a real damage item. He's going for a BKB, which I think is the correct choice, but you set yourself up for a really bad game. You're less farmed than an offlane Sanking at the moment, and look at the other offlaner. You said double the net worth pretty much.
Yeah, and it's like we keep talking about a lot of these different damage instances, and there's actually something that was brought up on the panel that I actually did like too, is the Drow with the DK. You know, this Drow aura, we have some pretty crazy tanky heroes that are going to be in this front line to deal with this Ember who's behind, going BKB. His damage is going to be pretty negligible, and they're going to be able to get BKBs early on in these cores too, so his Flame Guard or anything like that, it's also going to get countered. Yeah, it does feel like it's going to be a bit of a weird timing for EHOME, where they're going to be completely reliant, I feel like, on Epicenter for their damage, and getting
that's
the
most
kill
of
on
their
the stun.
damage.
Yeah,
That plus
the kill
Blast, I think actually Blast is their second best ability to deal damage besides Sanking. NGX, they use the smoke, try to make something happen, try to go for a pick off on a mid lane, but yeah, because DK just picked up a Blink Dagger, I think if they want to wait for another smoke, wait for Doom to get his BKB up and then go. Another Devour is going to be ready, as well as Hand of Midas, and that's going to be his gold.
I think these games, for when you have this type of tricore on NGX.SEA also, you probably don't really feel like you have to force too much. Like, you've got the Blink DK, but you have a Doom, Drow, like, DK tricore free farming. Under no pressure, you've already gotten the first tier 1. It's, I mean, looking pretty free for the 3 of them, just because of how gigantic this Doom is. Like, he's gonna have BKB in a second. And then that's when they start looking for these fights. They're going to be able to dictate objectives and Roche. And yeah, then, I mean, EHOME's going to have to somehow slow this down. But yeah, BKB's already done. So they're going to have to try to like get past this Doom somehow in a lot of these fights. Won't be easy.
We haven't seen Terrorblade yet in a fight. I believe he has a Dragonlance going into Yasha next. Yeah, going for a full Manta style just to be able to possibly bait things out with the illusions, possibly a Doom, kill the bugs and remove the silences / Spirit Vessel. So that's gonna be good. I'm just a little worried, like you also mentioned, the Draw Ranger aura, which is gonna be like extremely difficult to munch through the tankiness. And there's another smoke that we mentioned, that they're gonna go and try to make something happen. Zeal will be able to blink out. They knew exactly where he was.
It's like now this is Enigma Galaxy.SEA, they're forcing the issue, right? BKB's on the Doom, DK's got ult active. They're trying to force a reaction, and the reaction is coming. So EHOME, all eyes on Zeal, really. Echo is low mana as well as the Ember.
But they found the Omni Knight. Oh, good. Epi.
He's doomed up. They get Mizu. Echo's chasing. He's got a haster, and he's on the Mirana. The Doom will not be able to get the kill. The Heavenly Grace was applied after. And yeah, Jokam will drop down. 3 heroes dead. Beautiful connection from the Sand King.
Yeah, that's what they needed. Like, this is most of their damage. Also, Blast connected. And, yeah, getting a 2-man Epi, 2-man Burrow into Sandstorm. This is their damage. They get the 3 kills. I don't think TB did any kind of damage in that fight. Maybe a couple of right clicks, but it was mostly Sand King. Like, Ember, he still hurts. He's, let's see that again. Okay, so Blast connects in the backlines a little bit, and yeah, that was just a beautiful one. He even got to Doomed and actually gonna live, because Omni Knight is also alive. GA was available. I want to see how they approach the next fight, because they just lost 3, maybe even 4k gold in that fight.
Yeah, and they did initially see the Sand King too, right? Like when he blinked out and reset, but they committed anyway. Arrow connects onto the Omni Knight. They look like they're trying to commit. Bumbui almost drops down, will be able to survive to the time lapse. CZQ will survive himself somehow too, the Heavenly Grace. Okay, now Alacrity in trouble. DD on Echo. BKB is popped. We'll get the stun under the tower. Echo, he's got a Fire Remnant to jump away. We'll be able to dodge the arrow and he should be okay. But another BKB down. Alacrity also maybe just drops down. Zeal. Oh, what a play.
He was waiting for that, and he is getting tipped by the rest of his teammates. I think he's picked up the shard for himself, because he had shard queued up and also a BKB. Yeah, that's gonna be the shard. So a lot of weight on this Sand King's shoulders. He's been involved in 5 out of 8 kills. Didn't have that good of a laning stage, but yeah, let's see what NGX.SEA can do. They can get a kill on Omni Knight, but still gonna trade another kill.
But it's pretty damn huge. It's like the BKB timing for C. They started feeling, for Enigma Galaxy.SEA, they started feeling strong, and they've gotten killed multiple times now. Again, another catch. The chains, the Epi.
Even Epi.
The Epi.
They don't need it. The Keeper of the Light, he does have a Spirit Vessel, so these tanky heroes, after the BKBs are down, they're gonna have troubles dealing with that. And I think EHOME right now, I'd say they're like 5k gold ahead, considering how these 2 last fights played out. I mean, they can also use Chakra, but most of the time it's going to be used on Ember because the combo is too good, but they can use it either on Sand King or they can use it on Omni Knight as well to get like the second Heavenly Grace, another heal as well.
Yeah, I mean, even in dead downtime on TB is very good too. You recoup your Metamorphosis, and also you spam Conjure Image. So it's actually multiple different benefits that Kaddle always has for all these heroes. And now they're potentially getting a Roche too. Damn, EHOME really kicking up the pace of this game after these last 2 successful fights.
And we can see now why Omni Knight was such a good pick. Like, cause he takes away kind of Doom. Like, if he doesn't Doom Omni, then your TB, Ember, Sand King can do whatever the hell they want in these fights. And if he gets doomed, he's like, well, whatever, I just got doomed. I'm in position 5, I might bite back after that, and we win fight.
Yeah, beautiful positioning and just great read of the map really from EHOME, knowing when Enigma Galaxy.SEA was feeling strong. Now they have BKB on Ember. He's, I mean, I wouldn't say fully caught up, still 4,000 behind his counterpart, but that's going to give him a lot of ease of access into these fights. Doesn't have to worry about gusts. He has to be the one that gets doomed then, instead of the TB in a lot of situations. Otherwise, he's going to run rampant. So, yeah, EHOME, even though they did have that net worth disadvantage for a lot of the time. They've caught themselves fully back up in the gold at the very least, and yeah, it seems like they're ready for any type of fight with that BKB. And yeah, Zeal, I mean, really coming in clutch.
They chose the two best possible outcomes. First, they killed the Drow Ranger, then they dodge a smoke gank from a Blink Dagger smoke kind of a gank attempt from NGX.SEA, and then they win a fight with the second BKB on Doom. So very, very nicely done.
Ooh, and did you see that item? Planet's queuing it up. We were hoping to see
is that Greaves?
The Wraith Pact, dude. He's got Wraith Pact queued up. On the Coddle. I mean, I like his itemization already, like the Vessel, as we mentioned before, perfect versus these tanky heroes. Also just natural on Coddle now, but this Wraith Pact could be really cool to kind of change this Drow versus TB matchup a bit.
It's an interesting item. Anything that is like cool mechanic always catches my eye. I don't think this item was purchased a single time. Same goes for Revenant Brosh in the whole DPC.
Ooh, this is a big wrap here. NGX.SEA, they find the Omni Knight as well. They get the silence onto both. I think they caught it onto the Sanking as well. They did. He blinked into it. And they've got the detection. Zeal will go down. A buyback. Omni Knight's just TPing right back in. Shiro in the...
Look at Drow Ranger. Yeah, he needs to keep the distance on TB. Look at the damage coming out from the Drow Ranger. Dragon Knight getting chained. They do have enough damage to kill the Mirana, but Dragon Knight, yeah, he is Spirit's Vessel. They use the Sunder on him, having that Aegis. It's like they need Doom. They definitely need Doom to go in and pop the ability. Problem is that EHOME is controlling the outpost, so they can buy back, something that we mentioned on the Omni Knight. If he does die, and with that outpost, they can easily just connect with the rest of the team.
Sanking got a bit unlucky there. Zeal blinked in as the gust was happening also, so I think the fight could have gotten way worse actually for NGX.SEA. I think they got a bit lucky even getting the kill onto him. But now they do have a little bit of a condition, right? Omni Knight did buy back. If they can find him in next fight, no buyback available for him. He'll be dead a really long time. But yeah, really seeing the power of EHOME's draft when they're all together, right? This group up from their draft is extremely strong when they're all rallied around that Omni.
It is a bit limited in terms of like stuns, something that we mentioned already, having that Sanking initiation, but the chains, like it also does the work once the BKBs are down. And Echo with his BKB, like there's not much damage that goes through BKB anyway. Drow Ranger was not close, you can't really connect into a fight, doesn't feel too comfortable, doesn't have a BKB, just a Dragonlance and Mantis. I don't mind Mantis Style to get rid of like all these stuff, the chains, slows from the TB, and also very annoying abilities from Keeper of the Light.
Oh, nice try, Planet. He went for the deny. Can't get it, though. Alacrity with the DD, with the Doom. Big gold benefit, too. 700 gold stun. We'll catch the Sanking as well as Mizu. TB's in with meta. He's on Alacrity. Alacrity dropping low. Is he able to reset out? He is. Shiro has to just stand his ground there. Meta was used.
Spirit Vessel will not take him down. Yeah, so meta used. Maybe they can try to go for tier 2 tower. Out of that, still 50 seconds left on that Aegis. Like their sustain is pretty good. Having Omni Knight that also heals from Keeper of the Light is something that could potentially save them from the Doom initiation.
Whoa.
Oh, boom, yo.
Was he, I guess, trying to cut the wave so they don't lose the T2, but they were prepared for him. Instantly he gets dropped. And even though like meta was used there, they only got this one kill on the Weaver, but as I keep mentioning, it's like the Coddle allows you to actually pop meta in situations sometimes where it doesn't look so great, because he's looking at the Coddle, he's just following him around and he keeps just shockering the TB. So you just keep refreshing, replenishing that meta, replenishing also some more Conjure images so you get this crazy farm out. And speaking of the farm, look at Shiro. He's top. He's got Scotty finished up now too, so versus that Drow, versus that DK, even versus the BKB Doom, he's gonna build.
It's the best item. Yeah, you pretty much cripple all 3 heroes with Scotty. Scotty did get nerfed. It's better against melee heroes. It's worse against range in terms of like it gives more slow to the attack speed, but less in terms of move speed. It was 50-50 before. Now it's 40-60.
Still, I mean, it's still just the jack of all, like destroying all healing, like healing reduction and versus ranged heroes. It's still always going to be like the king item that you can purchase. And on a hero like TB now at this point, he's king. Now it's like, okay, now you don't doom the Ember anymore ever. You always doom this TB, and that's how I feel like NGX.SEA have to approach these fights. It's still just they have to just keep tabs of where the Omni Knight is though.
Oof. But it's difficult because if they doom TB and he popped the meta before that, I think he's gonna stand the ground and they take the fight with the Guardian Angel and the heals from both him and Keeper of the Light. Chains on the mid lane, but there's no real follow-up. We can still see that, you know, they munch through the tankiness from the Dragon Knight, who's sitting underneath the tier 2 tower, so he does have some extra armor as well. And I believe meta is ready again, yeah, because of that reduction, and they're gonna go on him. Doom popped, 1-4 staff, blinding light. They're trying to still go for him. I don't think he's gonna be able to make it out. The Drow Ranger now coming in. He's dropping super low. Starstorm will finish him off, and now both Sanking and Ember Spirit, they are dishing some serious amount of damage. Can they follow it up? BKB is popped on Sanking. Buyback also from Weaver, but she died back. Oh, good positioning from In Your Dream. Yeah, that's pretty huge. Dragon Knight is still tanking, but she's kind of left alone.
Can he actually finish anyone off? He can't get anybody on In Your Dream. They get Shiro, but just the 1 kill on TP. They had to commit so much to chase him because of the resetting from EHOME. These heals, these 4 staffs, the repositioning was beautiful. Echo actually got to do a ton of work on the Ember Spirit this fight because he was left alone.
Yeah, and he does have a damage item now. Like, he went for first item BKB, now going for the Maelstrom, which does amplify his damage. And yeah, Planet just using Chakra on Ember Spirit. Pretty easy stuff to do, but also very efficient.
I think he's got Wraith Pact now too. So it's in that last fight, they actually only just finished off the TB. If there's a Wraith Pact to reduce some of that damage that's coming out from the side of Gamers.SEA, like, he's about to have it done. I don't think they kill that TB next time.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That item is like, how much HP does that have? I don't even know.
It's a certain amount of hits. It's a lot of hits.
It's like X amount of hits. Okay, thank you very much.
Like 6, how many hits is it? It doesn't say it there because it has the patch notes of the newest one, but I can't remember exactly. Like, nobody buys it, right? So you're not used to how many hits it
Yeah, that's why I don't know, because I haven't seen the item.
It's tough to just focus down in a fight. It's like a Pugna Ward, pretty much, but I think it's even more hits than that. 5 hits. There we go. Totem can be short in 5, sorry.
Maybe Drow can do it, but maybe Weaver could help out with her passive. I know, it's still a lot. I also wouldn't mind seeing Shard on a Drow Ranger. They're gonna try to make a go here, and yeah, Mizu's gonna drop. Dragon Knight, not as tanky as they thought. Is that double damage? Yeah, that's double damage on Ember Spirit. Sanking did pop a BKB, but at this point I don't think they care too much. Next Roshan will respawn in 30 seconds, and they will be fight ready.
Nice pickup there also for EHOME, getting some pretty decent neutral items as we see. Oh, and a ceremonial robe as well. Okay, that's pretty great. Cloak of Flames for ceremonial for them, and on the side of Gamers.SEA, got a headband. Isn't?
Great. Who did they even give it to? I don't think no one wants to use that item anyway.
No, not for quite a while.
There is a Lotus Orb on Mirana, so that's a pretty big item against both Sanking, Ember Spirit to remove the chains, and also Sunder.
Yeah, even just to dispel a reflection off of a core or something too could be really nice. Alacrity we saw in that last fight too, he had the Shivas finished. His farm has really slowed down after how explosive he was in that early game. I mean, that's what happens when you lose pretty much every single fight. It feels like EHOME always coming out ahead in them, and that's a bit interesting. Boom Booey's gone for it looks like his own greedy build. He's gone Atos and he's going for a Gleipnir next.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
Aren't you a 5 position?
Well, in theory, yes, but maybe in your head you're like, well, this is it, I'm the carry right now. Maybe he's thinking we need a bit more to lock them down. A root mechanic AoE 1 against Sanking and Ember. I'm fine with Atos, I just feel this needed to be a different item. You mentioned the Aghanim Scepter, if you can farm that somehow.
I mean, they did lose a lot of their footing in this game, to be honest, right? So maybe he's just thinking, like, I don't know what to get anymore because we made too many mistakes.
Still, like Lotus Orb, Solar Crest, coming up from position 5, Weaver just feels much, much better.
Agreed. Yeah, that's very true.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Cutting waves. Boom Booey trying to stall this push out. Will work. 2 couriers also taken out. Alacrity, though. Gonna have to BKB and TP out. for getting those couriers. But now there's no BKB. So now EHOME, they could actually force the issue, knowing that Doom has no BKB. And they're going to do
force the issue. Shiro's already killed the tier 3 tower, and he's not stopping. Look at all these illusions.
They need to bring mid-wave in, though, because we do see that Weaver, as we mentioned, cutting the top wave. They will be doing that now. And there it is. So Conjure
for the
Images
melee.
Plenty continues to shocker him, pump out more of them.
All you gotta do is let me in, and they did let him into the base. So he takes the melee barracks.
Top barracks are under attack.
Dragonite pops a stun. Oh, not enough. Yeah, nice dispel coming up from the Omni Knight, and Mizu forced to use a BKB. They're gonna chase, nothing to stop the BKB TP with, so he's gonna be able to TP out.
That's his first BKB usage, and he has to just use it to TP out. That's both of their BKBs. The Doom and the DK used it just to like cut a wave or just do something cheeky. But yeah, now they're not gonna have.
This is what I wanted to mention. Drow Ranger to pick up the shard for herself, because it's a great addition. Most of the time you don't want to buy it, like you want to get it for free because it's a lot of investment, 1400 gold. Against the TB illusions, like once that shatters, the damage is insane, and they will need to be grouping around because they do have like 1-2 melee heroes and all the illusions. I just feel like this is such a great pickup on Drow.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I feel like it's every little thing that they can get, they need, because it's starting to feel like they're really far behind in this game of how the hell are they ever going to kill TB, where he's got this Vlad's aura, well, this Wraith Pact aura, and with the backup of his team, like this Omni and Coddle have done wonders to defend him as they get the catch on Alacrity, another BKB, and another TP.
This is what the BKBs are for, apparently. We've seen that same thing yesterday when Enigma.SEA played. They had a Lifestealer plus one more BKB, I can't remember, and they were just TPing out, and Boom said, well, you don't have BKBs, we're gonna go inside the base and try to end the game. Yeah, so Shiro will go in. Good Lotus Orb, he reflected that back, but Mizu still probably gonna drop unless they hide him underneath the Moonlight Shadow, and which they do.
Come on, Ember.
Doom was popped on Ember, so it seems like EHOME wants to reset a little bit. Atos on Ember, Doom still running, but yeah, they're gonna heal him, he's gonna be okay.
And that's I feel like all the team fight actually gone. I feel like Enigma.SEA now has no team fight whatsoever on their team to deal with this. They have the Gleipnir on the 5 Weaver, so maybe that's a little bit more of their team fight, but just look at this DB. He's got actual supports behind him, it feels like. While the side of Gamers.SEA, they have two fake supports. They have these two kind of like, I mean, Murata more of a support, but the Weaver is not really a support by any means. It's a support. So
I don't think EHOME needs to take a fight. They could just go for buildings, and another Lotus Orb, Boom Boy, he will use time lapse to get back to almost full HP, and this turret, he's too tanky. Alacrity is just gonna drop. This might be the game actually, because they used, as you said, they used the dude. There is the Dragonite form's about to expire. Ooh, Echo, good Sunder, just to keep him alive, but let's see, no remnants left. Seems like they're gonna bail. That was a buyback from Alacrity, and can they get out? Yes, they can. We were not close enough to use any kind of a lockdown, pretty much the only lockdown that she has anyway, and they picked up the gem on ZZQ. Oh man, in your dream, he's so low. But if he can keep the distance with multi-shot and also shard, it's a lot of damage. It is. But as
what's the next item too? He's close to his Scotty as well, which will help at least just to stick onto the TB. But it's still feeling like there's too many things to fix.
You think he's gonna keep Quiver? Terrorblade does have Quiver for himself. Let's see.
I don't really like Quiver much, honestly. It's not one of my least favorite items.
Because you feel like you just get that one hit and then you need to reposition yourself after?
Yeah, a lot of the times, and I feel like you benefit more from just like constant damage. Like Sliver, I think overall is going to give you more damage from your attacks plus your multi.
You're right.
1 or 2 hits from a Quiver, at least for me, But yeah, I think the game state still hasn't really changed though. It's like now they've got multiple Lincoln Spheres, I believe, on the side of EHOME. So I feel like for the game state for them, it's actually gotten easier, while for Enigma.SEA, it just continues to get more and more difficult. Because their DK is not really tanky at all, neither is their Doom. They keep having to pop BKBs to TP out, and the fight's just...
Moonlight Shadow pop, they know something is up. They do have Observer and the Sentry Echo. We'll use the chains. Lotus Orb.
His damage is insane now with Daedalus.
He does have Lincolns that you mentioned, so even more protection coming out from both him and Ember Spirit, and also does have extra damage. It's very difficult for them to just get on top of the Drow Ranger. So I feel like if EHOME goes in and tries to get like the buildings cleared, that'd be pretty big. Mizu once again on Dragonite going for that Force Staff. This is something that he did yesterday against Boom. In the end, it did delay his BKB, but this time around he went for BKB into Force Staff.
I guess he needs to get away from the Scotty TB, right? Like,
yes.
We saw what happened last time. He got Lotus, but it actually put him next to TB, and then he almost couldn't reset out of the fight. So, I mean, it still always makes sense, and I think it's the same thing. It's like any little thing they can find as the stun. Zeal finds the... Oh, the Doom hits the Lincolns on Zeal, and they're going to instantly kill the Drow Ranger. Alacrity in the midst of everything, just getting deleted by Shiro. And everyone's full HP on EHOME. They didn't even get hurt.
I'm a bit surprised they decided to take this fight. Maybe they thought, you know, we will defend the tower, but there is an observer ward. I think both teams actually had it during this whole fight, or maybe ZZQ placed it during the fight, because I think I only saw one. But their best chance was defending the high ground, and we can see Shiro going in on this Terrorblade, which is pretty gigantic, having that Sunder still available. Yeah, this is probably gonna be the game. Echo gonna drop. Okay, buybacks. Never mind.
Buybacks.
They're going all in.
And the arrow. Ooh, Zio able to actually dodge it and get the kill into Pumbui. Nice.
Man, this Keeper of the Light plus Terrorblade combo is insane. Whenever I think about TB, I feel meta is his ulti and it doesn't get replenished. I don't know why. It's just stuck in my head because I don't think of a Sunder as his ulti ability.
Yeah, it's also you're pumping, like you see how many illusions he constantly has on the map. Like he's just constantly been pumping up his. That's why his farm is so high. Like almost 500 last hits on this DB. And it's sure Shiro has played a phenomenal game, but you have to give so much credit to the supports. It's like chakra.
They did like the thing about the supports this game is they did play around their carries instead of just playing for themselves. I would say like Morana. Sure, she like doesn't have much in terms of what she provides in the team fight, but I feel like a different item on a position 5 Weaver could have been, like we mentioned, the other choices. I think that could have worked a bit better. And Dragonite is about to respawn. Weaver is reconnecting. Doom, like I feel like those two fights in a mid that they dodged was pretty much game winning for EHOME, and killing the Drow Ranger, that was pretty huge.
Yeah, they slowed down the Drow like 2 or 3 times, and I mean they won the fights where NGX.SEA were the ones oppressing, right? They're the ones like making the aggressive moves, and they got wiped for 3 heroes almost twice back to back when they were the ones with that big advantage. Just back into the game, see those images continue to go, and look, meta was just used, but meta's back up in 2 seconds. Shiro gonna look to clean this game up. He's actually gonna look to clean up some heroes first before he just hits the base, hitting in your dream. Moving on to Mizu. Look how fast this DK dies. Alacrity will get the stun. Multi-shot coming in. It's doing decent work onto Shiro, but he's got Sunder.
He's gonna drop.
But he is gonna die.
And he's buying back. He wants to end this game. Sankey will also die.
Okay, they're getting some big cleanup kills here.
A bit of a feed here. Echo's coming in.
He wants to join.
2 remnants left. He dodged it.
In your dream, he will die.
Okay, so this seems like it's gonna be it. Without Drow Ranger, they just don't have enough damage, and the GG is called.
Okay, bit of an exciting little ending there with some deaths from the side of EHOME, but besides that, what looked like NGX.SEA started really strong the first 15 minutes, especially with how they hit their timing of items, just got smashed from fights. EHOME just clapped them.